Hello and a very warm welcome to Science Monitor, your weekly update on what's happening in the field of science, technology, research and innovation in and around the country. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor with you. From the launch of Vidyarthi Vigyan Manthan 2020-21 to the observance of National Bone and Joint Day to educate people about the right practices to maintain good mobility, we have lots in store for you. So let us begin with the headlines. An Arctic sea ice may disappear by 2050. Research by National Polar and Marine Research Centre, Goa, reveals many startling figures. The advent of satellite technology has brought revolutionary changes in our lives. Today, with the help of remote sensing, we can access any kind of data about the remotest place on the earth without even moving a step. Now, with the help of such advanced technology, NCPOR Goa has revealed some startling figures about the melting of Arctic sea ice in the last 40 years. And according to the researchers, these figures should be a concern for the whole world, as the Arctic sea ice is a sensitive indicator of climate change and has a strong retaliatory effects on other components of the climate system. Let's have a look at the report to know more.
Sea ice is frozen seawater that forms, expands and melts in the ocean. It is found mainly in the polar regions such as the Arctic and plays an important role in maintaining the Earth's energy balance. When the sea ice expands, the bright surface of sea ice reflects a lot of sunlight back into the space and the temperature remains cool. Alternatively, when it melts, a lot of sunlight is absorbed by the ocean, leading to warmer temperatures. The change happening in this region affect the overall climate of the Earth. And similarly, any factor affecting the overall climate of the Earth affects the sea ice in this region. A study done by the National Centre of Polar and Ocean Research, NCPOR Goa, has described how sea ice has receded over the past 40 years and how it's linked to global atmospheric processes. According to the study, peak Arctic melting season happened in July 2018. At this time, the Arctic lost sea ice at a rate of around 105,500 square kilometers per day, which is roughly larger than the size of Iceland. According to the study, over the past 4 decades, September sea ice loss has accelerated to a rate of 12.8% per decade and 82,300 square kilometers per year. According to scientists, if the decline of sea ice continues to accelerate at this rate, then the Arctic is likely to be free of ice within the next 3 decades.
Our recent studies on Arctic sea ice decline in summer, especially during month of July to September, were carried out using the remote sensing and model analysis technique. It is well known fact that Arctic sea ice is grow in winter and retreats in summer with respect to changes in the amount of solar insolation. In the recent year, the process of freezing and melting of sea ice has been largely influenced, especially due to rising temperature. In our recent finding, we have observed that Arctic sea ice is declining at the alarming rate in the last 4 decades, and the massive reduction of sea ice during the summer, especially during the September, we have observed it is about 13% per decade.
For this study, the researchers used satellite technology to measure the sea ice's decline in terms of thickness, concentration and volume, as well as its visibility. The decline of sea ice has led to localized evaporation, air humidity, cloud cover and increased rainfall. The worrying element is that the sea ice formed in winters is unable to compensate for its loss in summers. According to the study, decline in sea ice at this pace can have a catastrophic impact by raising air temperatures and slowing down global ocean circulation. The changes taking place in the Arctic can lead to other changes in lower latitudes, such as extreme weather conditions.
Atmospheric changes are the result of progressive warming that influence the cycle of wind and pressure in the Arctic. Therefore, in background of global warming, the natural cycles of freezing and melting has been disturbed. So as we notice that whatever the ice melt in the summer, it could not be completely formed during this winter period. So there is a cycle, because of that, the cycle of the sea ice formation has disturbed. So that's why we have noticed there is a multi-year ice is not forming. So whatever ice forms in one season, that is get melted in another next summer. So that's the major cause of reduction of sea ice in the Arctic region.
This study of the National Polar and Marine Research Center has been published in the journal Halion. Working under the Ministry of Earth Sciences, NCPOR Goa is India's premier R&D institution to carry out multi-dimensional research activities in the polar and southern ocean realms. The center plays a key role in annual Indian expeditions to these regions, along with the management and upkeep of Maitri and Bharati, the Indian research bases at Antarctic, and Himadri, the Indian research base at Arctic.